Hello again, Ferrari fans. So, it's been a while since I reviewed a YM model because that whole Knight Rider kit thing was just horrible. Reverse door panels and the messed up rear window. So, I had this even before I got the kit car, but I didn't want to review this because I have such a sour taste in my mouth from YM model because of that thing. But it's time to get around to reviewing the F50. Alright, so I don't see any sort of Ferrari licensing, if that matters to you. I don't know how YM Model sticks around. They've been around for several years now. I don't think they licensed anything. Or maybe that kit car was licensed. I can't remember. It's been like a month. Okay, well, we got a really shiny box. Some sort of holographic foil going on there. Let's get this out of here. There's a little card backing. Alright, nothing else. Not a good habit to open stuff like that because it's loose. It'll fall to the floor. So keep that in mind if you're new to collecting. I'm not going to take this off the base, but we can look at the base right now. We have a very reflective mirror nameplate here that's photo etched. So it's a chrome mirror. And then you can see F50 and runner. I don't know what the runner means. There's a Ferrari horse here, and that says 57 of 399, so it's around 400 of the red ones apparently. I know there's a yellow one. I would assume they're going to come out with a white one or something as well. Maybe even another red shade later on. And then we have what looks like a carbon fiber sticker. I can only hope that this sticker doesn't peel off in the future. I guess worst case scenario though, you could just clean off the residue and then just screw it back down on the base and you'll have to glue the nameplate back on. So, alright. Yeah, no branding on the bottom. 2 stainless screws holding that in place. I don't want to get my fingerprints on this, so I'm not going to take it off. Just going to go back in the case later. Here are some images. I don't think it's as cool as the F40, but, you know, when I look at it, it's still a pretty cool car. It's undeniably, it looks like a Ferrari as well. Alrighty. I don't know about those wheels. You know, these are very airy, not airy. Exhaust pipes, I guess, are okay. They don't. Well, I guess they are chrome. There's just not enough light there on the in the photograph there. So let us start with those wheels, the suspicious wheels. So you can see that they're inspired by the photograph, but for some reason they're just not as good as the photograph. The proportions of these air gaps is just off. They're just too small, which is strange. They could have easily molded these wheels to have thinner spokes and it still would have worked fine, but no, apparently not. The center cap though, there's something going on there. Oh, I see. Wait a second. First is the knockoff nut, I guess, and then this is recessed right here. What I'm wondering is there printing there, or is that a reflection of some sort? I guess it's just an indentation. So the middle here is the indent right there for the air. Or no, there's no air. There should be a center cap. So that's kind of lazy. Whoever designed these wheels did a pretty bad job. You know, if this was a $10 model, that's one thing, but this is not. So I think they could have done a better job. I mean, I could have done a better job, and I'm not a professional model maker. Alright, so another thing is, what's with the rally tires? Why does this have these knobbies? It's it doesn't look like a road car, right? Road tires don't have knobbies showing on the side, so that's another issue. Yeah, so it's totally unnecessary. What's nice is the tire doesn't look like it's compressed very much. There seems to be some spacers down there, so you don't have the super deformed tires. Maybe this a little bit deformed here though. Yeah, the rear one might be a little compressed too much, or something's going on. This seems pretty tight, but there's a gap going on there. The rear knobbies don't look as bad, but these are just horrible. Alright, well, the bisecting line here, it does seem to be recessed in paint. You can see a little extra black paint there, so it's not a decal, so that's nice. And then we have a clear amber marker of some sort, so that's nice. This thing is probably a decal, but it's small, so it shouldn't peel off or anything like that. Maybe it could have been a little higher. It's kind of going, yeah, it should be higher up. Or it should also be smaller. It's not that big on the photograph. The separate mirror is really nice. You can also see the paint in general is okay. Except for this. I say that. What is that? Is that on the surface? I don't know if that's on the surface or actually in the clear coat, but oh, thankfully I think it's gone. Alright, never mind, so that's cool. Yeah, it's pretty smooth paint, you know, you don't see too much orange peel going on there, so that's nice. The vent in there, oh, this is another lame thing. Why is there no black paint or even an insert? If you look at the front photo, it's pretty much black in there. You know, there's a radiator behind that vent there. Oh, YM model, you're letting me down. Okay, well, let's go around to the front. Let's get a different angle here, because that plinth is in the way. Well, the prancing horse in the grill looks nice, so that's good. There's also a nice texture in the grill. That's probably a separate piece, because the separation of black is so good. Same with these vents, so that's nice. You got some detail, and there's no overrun of black paint. There's not, well, a little overrun of black paint right there, so that's not good. And then the amber lights are really nice. I mean, they're really small, but they're clear, right? And then the headlight cover, it's clear, obviously, and there's not too much excessive glue. I'm not sure if there's any way they could have done that better, unless somehow this is the peg hole. Maybe it is. Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is a peg hole. Maybe they didn't need any glue down here, but maybe it would warp. Hopefully they know better than I do. The silver headlight there, it might be a piece of photo etched metal. It's got like a center light bulb indication. It looks like it could have been etched away except for the center. And then you get these tiny little projector lamps or something. I don't know if that's a piece of plastic or just air. It looks like it's black. I can't zoom in any further. We're at 4 times. So what you're seeing now is as if we were looking at like a 1/18 scale car, right? If it's 4 times bigger. And so you gotta say, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, it was not so great as I think this badge is too big. Right? That looks like a very large phone as far as a badge goes. Okay, so nice grill here. That might, I wonder if that's passing air. I think that might be a piece of metal. I think you can see right there, see, there's a surface down there, but it goes away. So that's actually passing air, so that's good. But I don't think the front is. The wiper blade here, it's nicely etched metal, painted black. It's a separate piece, but it's not bent perpendicular to the windscreen. Alright, and then the windscreen is curved. It's super thin packaging. You can look right through to the back. The blackout seems okay. There's a piece of metal on top of it for the molding, so that's alright. The side window, yeah, there's some sort of ledge right there. Sorry, my camera's having a hard time with all the reflections. But this is all flush down here. But that's the way it looks on the real car, I think. It's pretty much a flush window. So I'm not even sure if they needed whatever this piece is right here. The roof, yeah, pretty smooth. Over here, now this rear window treatment's very nice because it's actually passing air. So that's a molded window. It's not packaging thin like that, but I don't think there's a way around it if you're going to have physical vents. So now you can see the engine details, a lot of silver in there. I don't know if the real car has red cam covers, but I don't see any red in there. Maybe you could leave a comment. Unfortunately, you know, because it's molded and you got those vents, it's really actually hard to see the cam covers or any details. All I know is there's some silver in there. Maybe it says Ferrari on there. I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe those are inboard shock details right there. Alright, well, it's good enough. Here we have a fuel filler door. And then what is this? I guess that might be a door actuator or something. I do see in the photos like a small dot. Oh, I see. Maybe there's a little too much paint there, but I almost feel like there's a slot shape. Maybe it's like a pull up with your one finger kind of door handle. But here it's almost vanished because they put on a lot clear coat. So that's a little unfortunate. Oh boy, is that scratched? Boy, that's not good, right? Alright. The wing, yeah. looks good. No major issues there. The rear grille, it's a separate piece. It's not passing air though, and it is nice. It's got to be photo etched metal to have such crisp details. The taillights are clear, and in the center you have silver, I'm guessing. So that looks accurate. There's like white light in the middle of these rings on the real photograph. And then back here it goes in, so it's kind of dark back there. So the prancing horse looks okay. I kind of wish this was open, right? It's weird that I think that is open mesh and not here, right? It's very strange. Possibly, maybe it would be too weak when it's so thin around this area. Perhaps that's why they made that decision. And then the exhausts here, I'm guessing those are actually real metal tubes because they're very round, and you can see like a roughness on the end as if they were sawn, like they were literally cut with a small saw or something like that. And they're located very nice. Those could have been really crooked. Alright. There's no license plate, which is odd. For this price, that is. There should be something that says Ferrari or F50 or something, right? If you're gonna write F50 here, you can just go ahead and put it on the model, right? Undercarriage details are probably non-existent. Let's look at those knobby tires here. Let's get a light there. They look like modern tire treads. It's just that they should have a ring around the edges, so you can't see them around the edge. So that's unfortunate, but the tires are staggered. The front ones are much more narrow than the rear ones. There's really nothing else on the bottom of that. It's just a smooth resin bottom. This is a resin model, in case you don't read the description of this video. I've actually had people ask me, is that metal or resin, even though it's written in the description of my videos. But I understand, I'm lazy. I'm lazy too. Alright, let's look at some other Ferraris. One other thing I just noticed is there's a Ferrari badge under the wing, and it's actually oriented in the proper fashion, so that's nice. I didn't really talk about the car because I must have spoken about it when I reviewed the Kyoshos, but I'll read some Wikipedia stuff again. This 4.7 liter V12 was developed for the 333 SP. This is a Kyosho version of that car, which was also derived from the Formula One 641 car. So the engine came before the car. 349 of these F50s were made, but I'm assuming they were made as coupes and the Spider. Or actually, I think basically they're all the same. You can just remove the roof of this and it becomes the Spider. Oh, that can't be true. No, that can't be true because look at the roll bars and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. All three of these are Kyoshos that we're looking at. Now look at the wheels on the Kyosho. They have far better spoke holes. They're open, like the photograph. So the badge is just as big, but the front badge is very small. It's proportioned much better, I think. It looks small. Whereas this one definitely looks too big. Alright, that's it for the die-cast ones, the Kyoshos. Kyosho's great. It's really a shame they just stopped caring about 164. I don't think they've made a new mold in a long time. So the other resin, which coincidentally is by YM model, the F50 GT, came out beforehand. Strange that they would come out with this before. Also no details in the side door vents. So that's unfortunate. The Ferrari badge, though, look how small it is, right? So I don't know what's going on at YM model, but they're going downhill. They're making dumb decisions. And also, this thing isn't even centered. You can see that's not centered. It's off to the right. So this one is centered. Yeah. Continuing on. YM model. Your wheels here, not good. I don't know if there's brakes in it, but you wouldn't see them. You really can't see them on the real car so much. The lack of black in such a major vent is a bit concerning. The emblem or the Ferrari badge on the front is way too big. So you did a much better job on this guy right here, the GT. But this time around, yeah, boy, what's going on over there, YM model? I used to love you guys, but I'm starting to debate if I should ever get any of your models again, because your stuff isn't cheap. And if you're going to charge multiple times as much as Mini GT, you need to be multiple times better. There is some reflective stickers there in the mirror. I didn't even catch that. Oh, I'm so distracted that I want to end this video, but we haven't even looked at the interior. So let's do this out of order. And let's go back into the interior. Hold on here. Let's get the flashlight out. This is 200 lumens. That's way too much. Let me get a better angle of light. I guess 15 lumens is gonna have to do it, but this is always a challenge. We zoom in, hit focus. There's some vent details on the dashboard. There's turn signal and indicator, wiper blade indicator stalks there. The steering wheel itself is hollow, obviously. There's some sort of indication of seat belt buckles there in the seat. The e-brake is actually floating in the air, which is great. Ribbing on the seats, black seats. It would have been cool if they had red seats, but I guess the real car, maybe a lot of them were black. Maybe that's the only way it came. The rear window, yeah, it looks alright. The mirror there looks a little big, right? But it has a reflective sticker in it also. Oh boy. Hold on. That's as far as I can zoom in. Too much light there. Alright, so I think there's a Ferrari badge on the steering wheel, so that's cool. This apparently is a car that doesn't have an airbag. It looks like a race steering wheel. I don't know if this would have an airbag in the 1990s. 1995 to 1997. What do you guys think? Or leave a comment if you know. Some vent details on the dashboard. The instrument binnacle looks like it has a decal, right? There's definitely some gauges, it looks like, in there, so that's nice. The rear window also has a blackout. Let's see if we can just look through the rear window, because they're so clear. Yeah, alright. Yeah, the gauges, white dials, very good. Yeah, there's the Ferrari badge, very good. And it's not upside down, so that's nice. I don't know if this thing has pedals or anything like that. Oh, look at that. It does have gas pedals on the floor, pedals. Nice. Alright, so that's cool. Granted, I'll never look at this interior again after this video. I don't know if this thing should have a stick shift, but if that does look like a pretty big ball, but it seems really low, right? I don't know if it had some sort of electronic transmission, so I can't really speak to that, but that looks like pretty much like a bocce ball on a stick. Door handle, let's see if we got some door details. Yes, there are. Yeah, and there's some red there. I'm not sure if that red's accidental or what, but there's clearly an armrest there. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think that door is red, and they just didn't get enough black paint on it. And also, there's a lot of weird artifacts. It's not a smooth door. I kind of expect seatbelts, but I guess this isn't a race car, so there's no race harnesses, so maybe that's why there's no seatbelts. There's that door armrest there. Alright, so I think that's an okay interior. It's actually better than the exterior with the badge and all. There's going to be less 1/64 scale models. This hobby just simply isn't good enough. You know, if you actually watch my Gundam videos or my tuned videos, I don't expect robots or cartoon cars to look perfect. But if you're trying to make something that's supposed to look like reality, like a realistic looking model, I expect it to look like a realistic thing. And so that's why I'm starting to really not like collecting these things. This thing's really expensive, and it's not well designed. It's just, simple things like that badge. Why is that Ferrari logo so big? So, yeah, don't be surprised if this just becomes a different toy channel in general. Because RC cars, You can buy an RC drift car, 128 scale WL toys, for the same cost as this off AliExpress. But that thing will actually drift. It's an all-wheel drive drift car, right? This thing does nothing but sit here and look. It's supposed to look pretty, but if it doesn't, it's not a good value, right? So, yeah, if you watch my channel, you know I complain a lot because I don't get anything for free except for Micro Turbo. Those guys are cool. They sent me a Miata and an MR2. Everyone else, you get the straight up facts from me. I'm not sugarcoating anything here. So I might give you guys one more chance, YM model. If you screw that up, you're done. I don't need to collect your stuff anymore. So far, Fuel Me is pretty good. They've never let me down. And the best ones are like MY64. MY64 has more details, and they've never let me down yet. So Error 404 is pretty good as well as the resin stuff goes. But honestly, if you don't really love these cars that these resin companies are going with, I would go with Mini GT. It's like that's like the one brand I think everyone should be collecting, and you don't need to spend less on the garbage stuff from like all the American diecast brands. And then going above that, you get into decals, and so that's not good either. So a lot of venting today, but that's just the way it is. So we'll have to see if YM Model cleans up their act. Otherwise, you're gonna have to look at some other channels. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye.